Tonight, as we come on the air, the new and deadly fire exploding in size. The wall of flames burning out of control. 2 firefighters killed, battling what's now called the Carr Fire. More than 100 homes and structures destroyed. A hospital evacuating its neonatal unit. We're on the scene. In the northeast tonight, the severe storms sweeping through just as millions now drive home from work. Also developing as we come on the air tonight, the new report accusing CBS chairman and CEO Les Moonves of sexual misconduct. One of the most powerful men in Hollywood, what Moonves is now saying tonight. And we hear from the reporter at The New Yorker who broke the story, Ronan Farrow. Also tonight, ABC News learning that Michael Cohen now says the president did in fact know about that meeting with the Russians in Trump Tower before the meeting happened. The frightening bus crash, newly released images made public, the driver speeding out of control. Authorities now revealing what went wrong. The ABC News exclusive tonight. The FBI now involved in that search for a missing college student. And tonight, the mother whose daughter disappeared, breaking her silence amid a new timeline now emerging. And the spectacular blood moon, the longest lunar eclipse of the century, and it's happening now. Matt Gutman is standing by, ready to show you.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Friday night. And we begin with the growing danger at this hour. The firefight underway as we come on the air. The deadly fire doubling in size in just the last 24 hours. 2 firefighters have now been killed. The Carr Fire in Northern California sweeping through neighborhoods. More than 100 homes and buildings now destroyed. That wind and heat with the fire blowing out windows and fire trucks. The fire destroying street after street, and you can see homes burning really on both sides of the street there. The fire and smoke spinning into what looks like a tornado, a fire whirl. Waves of people forced to evacuate already in this, and word of that hospital also getting patients out. It's only growing at this hour, and the fire chief says his crew is battling the flames while they mourn the deaths of 2 of their own already. ABC's Kana Whitworth on the scene in Redding tonight.
Tonight, a deadly line of flames scorching a city of 90,000 people. The Carr Fire burning a hole through Redding, California.
Got about a 100-foot wall of flame coming down onto the very south end of Snow Lane.
Residents forced out after the fire jumped the Sacramento River. Roads choked with cars trying to escape. The sky full of flames.
It's jumping the street.
One hospital evacuating its neonatal unit, and even a shelter had to evacuate after flames got too close. Our affiliate, KRCR, forced to flee mid-broadcast.
And right now we're being evacuated.
The fire, fueled by high winds and triple-digit temperatures, overpowering crews.
30-year veterans who've been doing this all of their life have never seen fire behavior like this.
Those winds creating fire tornadoes.
Wow.
Strong enough to blow out the windows of emergency vehicles. 2 firefighters losing their lives.
You know, the struggle now is we're mourning as we battle.
3 more firefighters and several civilians suffering serious burns. Daylight revealing the destruction. Gas lines hissing in neighborhoods. More than 100 homes and structures damaged or destroyed.
I drove up before my mom and dad, and this is what I saw, their house flat.
Aaron Clark's parents' home reduced to its foundation.
Everything we've ever owned. Pictures, everything. Everything.
And in Southern California, the Cranston fire burning more than 11,000 acres. Our Will Carr is there.
The Cranston Fire's path of destruction is extensive. At least 6 homes have been destroyed. Take a wide look. This home burned to the ground. The only thing still standing, that gun case and the chimney in the corner.
More than 1,300 firefighters battling that blaze. Officials say it was deliberately set.
Kana Whitworth with us live tonight from Redding, California. And Kana, 37,000 people already evacuated. There could be more evacuations coming tonight.
Yeah, David, and part of the reason that so many people are in danger is because of these extreme and erratic winds that are violently pushing the flames through these neighborhoods. I mean, look at this. All that's left standing here is this garage door. And if I walk over here, you can see the fire still smoldering back there. But the winds are also bringing down trees like this one. And firefighters I spoke with say they have never quite seen fire activity just like this. They're calling it unprecedented. David?
Just an Disastrous scene there behind you, Kana. Thank you. Meteorologist Rob Marciano also there in Northern California, monitoring the conditions, the triple-digit heat, the wind. We're also following the line of severe storms moving through the east at this hour as millions head home. But Rob, let's begin out west tonight. We know a tough night ahead.
Yeah, and as Cannon mentioned, David, those winds making things so difficult for firefighters, and the heat barely relenting. The core of the heat dome, check it out, has shifted a little bit farther to the east, but still triple-digit heat again across the fire zone, and it will rebuild. We've got more watches and warnings posted. The Northwest is going to heat up again Sunday and Monday, so it is not going away anytime soon. Severe weather again across the high plains. Some tornado warnings issued for Colorado, and big storms rumbling to the northeast right now. Severe watch up there till 10 o'clock as that front slowly moves through. A rough Friday evening commute for just about everybody in the northeast. David?
Rob Marciano in California for us as well tonight. Rob, our thanks to you. And the other major headline developing as we came on the air tonight, the report just out from the New Yorker involving one of the most powerful men in television and in Hollywood. CBS chairman and CEO Les Moonves accused of sexual misconduct. Tonight, how Moonves is now responding, and we also hear from the reporter who broke the story, Ronan Farrow. Here's ABC's chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Llamas.
Tonight, Les Moonves, one of the most powerful men in Hollywood, under investigation by his own company, CBS, after allegations of sexual misconduct. Accusations that range from inappropriate kissing to sexual assault, surfacing tonight in a New Yorker expose by Ronan Farrow. In the article, actress and writer Illeana Douglas tells Farrow, "What happened to me was a sexual assault, and then I was fired for not participating." She recounts an incident in Moonves' office. In a millisecond, he got one arm over me, pinning me, she said. Moonves was violently kissing her, holding her down on the couch with her arms above her head. Producer Christine Peters recounts a similar experience in the article, saying Moonves told her during the meeting, "This is really great," she recalled. Then he just put a hand up my skirt.
Each and every woman in this story told me that they were still frightened of Les Moonves and said that they were only speaking about these harrowing experiences, which, in the words of more than one woman in this story, included sexual assaults. They said they were doing that to protect other women and to try to put a spotlight on what they feared was a culture of impunity around Les Moonves and including other figures in his company.
Back in November, Moonves was asked how his company was changing in the wake of the Me Too movement. CBS had already fired news anchor Charlie Rose for allegations of sexual misconduct.
I think we've been surprised by things that we've seen, but I think it's important that a company's culture will not allow for this.
News of the accusations against Moonves sent CBS stock into a freefall, dropping as much as 7% at one point, its worst daily performance in years. It's unbelievable! Hit shows like Everybody Loves Raymond, Survivor, and CSI is credited with turning around CBS after taking a leadership role in 1995. Thank you. In 2004, he married one of his employees, CBS host Julie Chen. Moonves, who is 68, is now one of the highest paid CEOs in the country, last year earning a pay package worth $70 million. Tonight, in a statement to The New Yorker, Moonves says, "Throughout my time at CBS, we have promoted a culture of respect and opportunity for all employees and have consistently found success elevating women to top executive positions. But I always understood and respected and abided by the principle that no means no, and I have never misused my position to harm or hinder anyone's career."
And Tom Llamas with us here tonight. And Tom, we took note today that CBS was actually out with a statement even before the story broke. They clearly knew this was coming, and they said, quote, "All allegations of personal misconduct are to be taken seriously." And tonight, about the two women you mentioned there in that report, what is CBS saying?
That's right. We have a lot of statements that are just coming in right now, David. First, Illeana Douglas, the writer and actress. In a statement, CBS said that Moonves acknowledges trying to kiss her, but that he denies any characterization of sexual assault, intimidation, or retaliatory action. As for the producer, Christine Peters, CBS said that Moonves categorically denies any alleged touching or inappropriate conduct.
And just as we came on tonight, we were also hearing from Les Moonves' wife, TV personality Julie Chen.
That's right. I have that statement right here. It just came in, David. This is what she writes. She says, I have known my husband, Leslie Moonves, since the late 90s. I have been married to him for almost 14 years. He's a good man and a loving father, a devoted husband, and an inspiring corporate leader. She goes on to say, he has always been a kind, decent, and moral human being. I fully support my husband and stand behind him and his statement.
All right, Tom Llamas on the breaking headline tonight. Tom, thank you. We're going to turn now to President Trump and his longtime fixer and lawyer, Michael Cohen. ABC News has learned tonight that Michael Cohen now says that President Trump did, in fact, know about the meeting with Russians in the Trump Tower before the election, and that he knew about the meeting before it happened, after dirt on Hillary Clinton was promised from a foreign adversary. This will likely interest Robert Mueller, who, by the way, today was photographed, seen right here, waiting at the airport in D.C. there on the left. Not far away behind him there, you see Donald Trump Jr. standing in line. Tonight, Mueller's office issuing a statement after that photo, and here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, President Trump fiercely denying the explosive allegation from his former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen. Multiple sources tell ABC News Cohen claims Trump knew in advance about that infamous June 2016 Trump Tower meeting. His son, Donald Jr., son-in-law Jared Kushner, and campaign chairman Paul Manafort sitting down with a Russian lawyer with ties to the Kremlin. Trump Jr. had been promised high-level and sensitive documents that would incriminate Hillary Clinton as part of Russia and its government's support for Mr. Trump. The president's son has repeatedly said his father didn't learn of the meeting until well after the election.
Did you tell your father anything about this?
No. It was such a nothing. There was nothing to tell. I mean, I wouldn't have even remembered it until you start scouring through the stuff. It was literally just a wasted 20 minutes, which was a shame.
The president also insists he was in the dark.
Did you know at the time that they had the meeting?
No, I didn't know anything about the meeting. But you know, you gave us. It must have been a very unimportant meeting because I never even heard about it.
When news of the meeting broke, Trump Jr. released a misleading statement implying it was about Russian adoptions. Team Trump initially said the president had nothing to do with that either.
The statement that was released on Saturday was released by Donald Trump Jr., and I'm sure in consultation with his lawyers. The president wasn't involved in that.
It was later revealed the president actually dictated his son's misleading statement. The White House forced to backtrack.
He weighed in, offered suggestion like any father would do.
Today's allegations mark a major escalation in the standoff between the president and Cohen, his longtime confidant.
I always liked Michael.
Are you?
And he's a good person.
The president's new attorney once praised Cohen.
The man is an honest, honorable lawyer.
But now
he's been lying all week. I mean, he's been lying for years. There's nobody that I know that knows him that hasn't warned me that if he's back is up against the wall, he'll lie like crazy because he's lied all his life.
On Twitter, the president ripped into his former fixer, saying, "Sounds to me like someone is trying to make up stories in order to get himself out of an unrelated jam." One person keenly watching all this play out, special counsel Robert Mueller. And for now, he's not saying anything. But the world did catch that rare glimpse of him today, sitting at a D.C. airport, ironically just feet away from Donald Trump Jr.
A lot of people looking at that photo on Twitter and on social media late today. Pierre Thomas with us live tonight from Washington. Pierre, sources say that Michael Cohen may now be actually willing to share his story with the special counsel.
That's right, David. Cohen is under investigation by federal prosecutors in New York, and our sources tell us he's likely to cooperate with them. And now he may be willing to speak to Robert Mueller, too. And about that photo at the airport, Mueller's team says he was unaware Donald Trump Jr. was there, David.
Pierre Thomas with us on a Friday night. Pierre, thank you. President Trump, meanwhile, choosing to focus on the economy today, and it is a bright spot for the president and the nation. Coming before cameras outside the White House, he announced a strong quarterly report promising even better numbers to come. He did promise during the campaign he would get GDP growth to 4%, and tonight it's there. Will it stay there? He says yes, but tonight a couple of factors that led to this, and it does involve American farmers. ABC's Terry Moran at the White House tonight.
The economy is soaring, and so is President Trump.
I am thrilled to announce that in the second quarter of this year, the United States economy grew at the amazing rate of 4.1%.
It's the best number since 2014. Americans are spending more, businesses are investing more. The Trump tax cuts and massive deregulation having a positive impact.
These numbers are very, very sustainable. This isn't a one-time shot. I happen to think we're going to do extraordinarily well in our next report, next quarter. I think it's going to be outstanding.
But take a closer look at today's numbers and you see some shadows. Exports are way up. But that's partly because businesses and farmers raced to sell their goods and crops before China imposed tariffs in Trump's trade war. Soybean exports, for example, soared more than 50%. Farmers like John Kiefner in Illinois now worried about what comes next.
I have to try to make do with less expenses. I want to save as much money as possible because I am unsure about the future.
So despite today's